Hey guys, yesterday I posted a YouTube post saying if any of you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me and I'll do a video Q&A. So, the first question is by Pizza Land. How is it possible to release so many songs while also making them sound unique? It's just mind-blowing for me. Well, I'll say one thing. I started just kind of making metalcore. When I was like 13 years old, all I did was just make metalcore songs. All of my songs sound like As I Lay Dying. Some of you guys might know, recently I did a remake of the song Dead Inside, which is something it was the first song I ever posted on the channel. And back then, that's what all of my music sounded like. It all just sounded like the song Nothing Left by As I Lay Dying, but with all the notes like rearranged a little bit. So it took a long time for me to start creating stuff that sounds unique. It took me years and years. And what you guys see now is the result of like 12 years, 13, 14 years, whatever, of writing music. And 3 of them being the most recent years being very serious about music. And dedicating all of my time to music. And so that's why they all sound unique, is because I want them to sound different. I want them to sound interesting. I get bored of creating the same thing. If I just did original heavy metal instrumental over and over and over, I'd eventually get bored of it. I'm not saying I would stop doing it, but I would probably post every week instead of every 2 days, and I just get bored of it. Doing the different styles keeps you guys more interested and keeps me more interested, and it also opens up the avenues, to all kinds of different things in life. There's a fly. It opens up an avenue to all kinds of different things that could happen. You know, maybe someone wants to make a black metal album and they want to find someone to compose the music for them. If I never posted black metal instrumentals, they would never know I exist, right? So that's one reason why. It's just to have a more varied sound. How do I all make them sound unique on their own? It's another thing, is I have to like it. I'm never going through the motions with any of these songs. Ever. I'm never going through the motions. No matter what. Alright, on to the next one. I don't have any questions. I just want to say that you are amazing and keeping me sane. I can't read this guy's name. It's in Russian. But thank you. You are so awesome, and I really appreciate it. Oh, it also says Macedonians are Bulgarians that refuse to admit it. I'm not sure what that means, but... Or Macedonians. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Macedonians. Easy Macedonians. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. All right, what genres/subgenres are you interested in exploring and trying out for your channel? Any genres that you're hoping to make more content for. That was by DinoCon. Well, I've explored so much in metal now. I mean, there's only so much. I mean, obviously I could go like sludge metal, death doom. I could start combining things. You know, I think maybe doing like a new metal deathcore, I could start making things a little more varied. And when I do that, I also got to keep in mind what people actually want to hear. What I do is a balance in between what people want to hear and what I want to write. And it's like I'm finding a spot in the middle so that you guys really enjoy listening to every upload, and I also enjoy creating every upload. If I wasn't creating music for you guys and it was just purely for me and I wasn't meeting you in the middle, everything I do would be really weird, you know? It would be like so weird. Like I'd be combining the weirdest genres ever. But yeah, anyways, what will I start doing? What are other genres that I want to explore? I want to do more post-rock, more post-metal. What was another one? Industrial rock, like 9 Inch Nails, but maybe a little bit more on the rock side. Like 9 Inch Nails, but a little bit more guitar heavy. I want to do something like that soon. What else? I'm going to be posting a fall instrumental, like Vilcharda. Probably said that wrong. But I'm going to be posting a fall instrumental. If you guys don't know what that is, go look it up. It's basically just like Gent on steroids. And like every 2 seconds, like the notes are super high, and they're super low, and then there's a triplet rhythm, and it's just like none of it repeats, none of it makes any real sense. But it does at the same time. Anyways, I'm going to be posting one of those soon. I'd love to do more of that. It was so fun writing that, and it really tested me. But honestly, within metal, there isn't too much more. I could do things that are based on artists, so like a Trivium style song, Metallica style. I could do stuff like that eventually if I wanted to. Other stuff I want to try doing is stuff kind of like, I've thought about stuff kind of like what Jared Dines does with like Riff Wars. I've thought of doing something kind of like that, except it's all me writing it for now, and it's like genre wars, like thrash metal versus groove metal, or metalcore versus new metal, and I just create like 3 riffs or 4 riffs, and then they have rounds and they battle it out, and then you guys can like decide what you think was cooler, like which genre you're like. I just thought that'd be a fun thing to do. But all right, yeah, I know I talk a lot, but here we go, on to the next one. Real Street Jesus, I love the name. How did you start with songwriting? How difficult was the process? Well, it's kind of hard to really explain, because I started songwriting before my memory was really clear. Like, you know when you're a kid, how in your childhood, you have like spots where you remember things, then there's times where you're like, I have no idea what happened. Like what happened February when I was 8 years old, I have no idea. I mean, I'm sure there might be a memory in there, but that's kind of how I feel with started songwriting. I can't even tell you how or when. I got my first guitar, well, I started with Guitar Hero 3, and I really loved it. And I heard a lot of bands for the first time on Guitar Hero 3, and I was like, wow. And Guitar Hero 2. Actually, no, I think it was just 3. I was already into metal before I got that game, but it really made me go, I started playing, and I could play everything on Expert, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. I never did play through the Fire and Flames on Expert, though. I just couldn't figure out how to tap when I was a kid, like on that thing. It just didn't make sense to me. I'd like to try it now and see how I do. But that's kind of how I got started with guitar, was Guitar Hero. And that Christmas, I asked my mom, or the next Christmas, I was like, hey, can I please have a guitar? And they got me this cheap little Behringer guitar with like this tiny cube amp. And I started playing on that, and I took 2 lessons. I took 1 lesson, and I learned Enter Sandman, the main riff to Enter Sandman. And I remember just being like, this is so amazing. And I just kept learning more Metallica songs. I started with Metallica mostly. And eventually I could play Master of Puppets probably after 6 months or 8 months, maybe sooner than that. And I went down this rabbit hole of thrash metal. Thrash metal is all I cared about, and death metal, that was it. All I cared about was like Death, the band Death, Slayer, Creator, Megadeth, and more obscure thrash bands. That's all I cared about. And so what I started doing is I actually started writing on Tux Guitar, which is just Guitar Pro. It's a free version of Guitar Pro. And I actually have a lot of those old files from back then. And I would just write a riff on there, and then I would save it, and I'd write another one, and I'd save it. Or I just keep doing that all the time. And there's so many things on there that never got released. A lot of them sound like garbage. Like there's probably 500 Tux Guitar files, or 300, something like that. There's a lot of them. So many of them. And so many are deleted, but I have like 50 of them on a Google Drive file. So maybe someday I'll find out how to open them. I can't open them because I can't get... Tux Guitar is so old, I can't even open the files anymore. But that's how I got started with songwriting. And I remember getting Audacity and then Mixcraft. And then I settled on Reaper, probably not that long after, because I wasn't a huge fan of Mixcraft or Audacity. And I would write on Tux Guitar, I'd export the drums, and then I'd put them through Superior Drummer 2 and Easy Drummer, and then I would just play my instruments over that. I'd play the riffs that I wrote. So that's how I got started, and I just kept doing it. It wasn't that difficult. I mean, obviously I had to learn a lot, and I had to just keep improving and improving, but it wasn't super difficult for me. I always wanted to be creative. My whole life I was drawn to being creative. So, all right, on to the next one. This one's in Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish, but I don't want to discredit this person. I want to, just because I can't speak their language. So I'm going to do Google Translate, and I'm sure it won't be perfect, but let's see if I can figure it out. All right. This is Fernando Rio. I know I butchered that. I know. I'm from Maine, okay? I'm just kidding. So it says, good, you are very good. How do you compose? I just kind of explained that. Well, I use Reaper now. Do you have some kind of sound library? If it is so, what is my sound library? So I compose on Reaper, and I used to write in Tux Guitar, which like I said is just Guitar Pro, but now I don't do that. Now I write everything right in Reaper, and that's it. In terms of sound libraries, all I use is Superior Drummer 3 with the death expansion, because I actually don't have enough space for the darkness one right now, because my computer has the tiniest hard drive ever, and everything's on an external, but I don't think you can put those libraries on an external. I'll have to figure it out. I've been trying to figure that out. But all I have is the death library right now, and then I have Get Good Drums. I have every expansion for Get Good Drums, and I have SSD 5.5 or whatever it is, 6, whatever, 5, I don't know. I have all that. I have like 4 expansions for that. I've spent a lot of money on drum programs, like a lot. So yeah, that's what I use. For guitars, no sound library. I play everything. I don't really edit much. I edit the space in between the chugs. Sometimes I'll record riffs piece by piece if it's really, really hard to play and I just don't have time to like keep making mistakes. But yeah, I don't use any kind of sound library for anything really, actually. What else? That's it. And for bass, it's all real as well. I use a real bass. I use my dark glass. What even is it? Alpha Omega 500 watt, I think, or it might be 900. I don't even remember what the wattage is on it. Yeah, it's 500. And then I use a Rev G20, a little lunchbox amp, which this is sitting on for all my guitar tones. Lately, I've been using STL Tone Hub as well. I really like that. And I'll just kind of bounce between the Rev and the STL. They both have things that I really like about them. But nope, that's it for sound libraries. Actually, you know what? That's a lie. I also use the JST Chaos post-production one as well for all my crazy sounds, like the explosions and the slams and the hits, all the big whoosh sounds I have in my stuff now. That's all from just using that. Probably overusing it at this point, but it sounds cool. So, all right, on to the next question. I have one most. I like this one. It's by Mishiak Lover. I have one most special question in your life. ... Will you marry me? Yes, I will. That's it. That's my response. Yes, I will marry you. All right. Army of Darkness. What song do you like by Killswitch Engage? They are actually one of my favorite bands. I think they might be. I don't know. I really love them. There's something about them. It's just the melodic combined with the heaviness and the amazing songwriting that just. They've always been one of my favorite bands, and if you listen to my music, they're probably the prevailing influence. Because all of my songs have heavy grooves type of chugging riffs, and then they have very melodic choruses with lead guitars and harmonies usually in the chorus. And that's what Killswitch Engage did for every song too, or most of their songs. And I've always loved that sound of like melody contrasted with heaviness. I love that. So my favorite song by Killswitch, I think it's My Last Serenade. I think it is, or Fixation on the Darkness, or maybe it's Rise Inside. I don't know. I love their first album, or second technically, Alive or Just Breathing. I love that album. That is my favorite album of all time. It's just the songwriting is so perfect to me. It has such a raw sound. It sounds amazing for 2002. I think that's when it was released. It was produced by Andy Sneap, and he's just so good. Or he at least helped them. I think he mixed it. But it just sounds too good for me. Sorry, I'm getting on Facebook messages. All right. So anyways, yeah, I love that album. But it's a close second as Daylight Dies. It's a very close second for me. Even on the day, I might change which one I like the most. And End of Heartache is also great. I mean, I can never decide with their stuff. And their new stuff is good too. It doesn't blow my mind like the old stuff did, but it's still really good. Favorite band? Oh, sorry, that was Army of Darkness who said that. And then the next one's Tom Kenobi, who is I've seen his messages, his comments. He's been supporting my stuff for a long time. So Tom, I'm sure you're watching this video. Thank you so much for supporting my stuff. You guys, I would be not making any music like this if you guys weren't supporting me. I would be working a terrible job somewhere. Okay, let's not be too harsh. I'd be working probably a job that isn't my favorite thing to do. And all of this music would not exist because I wouldn't have time to do it. So all of this music would not exist without you guys, like 100%. So I really appreciate that. But anyways, yes, you are one of the people I see all the time commenting, and I massively appreciate it so much. Tom Kenobi, favorite band, favorite genre of metal. Oh God, I don't even know. My favorite bands, I don't really think of what I listen to now, I think of what influenced me and what changed the way I see music. And so it's a lot of people that kind of do what I do, which is create music that's really, they do it all themselves, and they have their own sound, and they have a variety of styles. So sorry, my voice, my allergies are horrible. So honestly, this is dumb, but Metallica was the first band I got into. I might just say they're my favorite. I mean, I don't even listen to them now, but without them, I would not be where I am now. There's no way. Tool is another huge band for me. That stuff, their music is just, I cannot believe how good it is. I just love them. Even their first album, like Undertow, I love all that stuff. Everything is great that they've done. Devin Townsend is a more recent person that 100%, like, basically my entire channel is me going, like, pretending that I'm Devin Townsend. That's like my whole YouTube channel, me just being like, can I please be like Devin Townsend? No, but he's amazing and it's awe-inspiring. I've seen him live, and the whole time I saw him live, my hairs were just standing up on my arm. It was so amazing. I'll say a couple more. Death is another huge band for me. Like, so important. Chuck Schuldiner, huge influence on me. And I remember listening to their stuff and just being so drawn to how unique his sound and how his approach to writing is not like nothing else. Like, he has his complete own style, and it's just so obvious. From the beginning of the first song on their first album to the last song on their last album, it's his own style, and I love that. And I love that he did it all himself as well. So yeah, there's a couple favorites. Like I said, Killswitch, obviously, As I Lay Dying, all those bands, I love them. Megadeth. And then recently, like, a lot of the newer deathcore bands as well are amazing. I don't even have to say their names. You guys know who I'm talking about. Lorna Shore, Slaughter to Prevail. I've been loving that stuff, just the brute force. It's incredible. And then there's one more question, and it's also, I think that's in Spanish as well. It's by BLegend91, and let's see what they asked me, because I have no idea. Hopefully it's something nice. Oh, I don't even know how to. It's not translating correctly. Is your cubicus? I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, if any of you guys know what that last word means, let me know. But thank you, though, for your comment. I appreciate it. Your question. And that's all of the questions on here. Maybe at some point I'll go live. I'm a little nervous to go live because I'm just not, I don't know. Maybe I'll go live at some point and you guys can ask me questions, and that'd be fun as well. But yeah, I just want to do a quick Q&A and just talk and explain a little bit about what I do, because I feel like all I do is just post music, and I'm just like this robot that posts music. Also, I've had people that ask me, am I multiple people? Like, is it just one person? It's just me, guys. It's just me. That's it. And my days consist of waking up, making coffee, writing, and then just writing music for hours. Like, every day writing music for hours. And I try and take days off, and I don't want to. I'd rather just write. It's fun. It's so much more fun than anything else I can think of. It sounds depressing. I mean, it's not really depressing, but I don't know, I'm just so drawn to it. It makes me feel alive writing music, and I'm hopefully never gonna stop. I don't see why I would. I get bored after 2 seconds of not writing music. I can't even go one day without doing it. I feel like, I'm like, oh, I wanna make another song like Memories Fade or something. And that would be fun to do. Oh, let's try that. And then I just start writing again. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think I will slow down at certain points, but right now, it's just, I'm right in it, and I'm just writing and writing and writing. So, oh, wow, that was a lot of talking. Hopefully, you guys should watch this on 2x speed, and I'm sure it's just like, you guys probably want to watch this at like 0.75. But anyways, that's basically it for this video. I'm gonna shout out one thing. There's actually been one change to my YouTube and everything. Recently, I've been doing exclusive songs on my website, which instead of royalty free, where you can buy them but other people can use them, no one else can use these. You go on my site, and if you want, you can purchase an exclusive track, and it's 100% yours. and it's taken down from the store. It'll say out of stock, and then I'll take it down from the store, and you get all the rights to the song. It comes with an agreement and everything. It comes with a licensing agreement. It comes with all the stems, any additional info, tempo, everything. So if any of you guys are interested in having like 100% exclusive tracks where you can add your vocals on, if you have a band, you can have your band learn the track and you can literally perform it as your own track. It'll be your track after buying it. I'm going to be adding more and more of those to the store as well for people that are interested in that. And other than that, I mean, you guys know I do custom instrumentals. If any of you guys ever want to work with me on a custom song, feel free to email me. I'll put that all in the description. And that's the same thing. I mean, I write the song, I give it to you, and then it's your song. And you can just do what you want with it. I don't really, I mean, it's not that I don't care, but it's just like I'm writing all day long. So I'm not really super attached to any one thing I do. It's just, and I just keep coming up with more ideas. So anyways, that's it for this Q&A, and I'll do another one at some point. Maybe I'll go live. I don't know. I've never done that, so. But anyways, that's it. So thank you guys for watching.